Hey guys, NosferKitty here, and I am here with more Red Embrace Hollywood. I don't know why that didn't want to come out of my mouth. Probably because I've been talking for like 3 hours straight today. Uh, we just got done talking to like everybody except for Randall. We could not find Randall at the hideout. I don't know where he is, but I'm not happy with that. But hey. And then we ended in the hotel, and all of a sudden we're at the beach again. So, here we go. The cool ocean breeze ran through my hair, drifting across my face. I was on my way to Randall's beach house to meet him and his clan, taking him up on his earlier invitation. I'd given him a call before I left, so he knew I was on my way. As I approached the house, I noticed a huge parade of footsteps in the sand. They led to and from Randall's place by the look of it. Was his number of followers growing? I hadn't seen this many last time. Before I even stepped onto the porch, I could hear the loud chatter and laughter of a large group leaking through the windows. But Randall must have heard my knock because the door swung open a few seconds later. Come on, big boy. I sees you. Come on. Wow, look who's here. What is up with the crucifixion hands? What is wrong with this? My favorite little fireball. You goddamn right. I usually am. Come on, get inside. I've been waiting for you. What happened to his hands? I'm not enjoying this. I followed Randall into the house, which is about as packed as it sounded from outside. The loud din of conversation quieted down a little as Randall and I approached, and suddenly everyone's gazes flicked onto me. Hey, it's Callie! Oh shit, man, she finally showed up! Friendly voices quickly sprang up around me, and unlike the lukewarm greeting I'd gotten before, everyone seemed happy to see me. She's the one working for Cherise while twisting a knife in her back. Yeah, that stupid bitch is so desperate she'll use anyone. Okay, please stop. As the cheerful laughter echoed around the room, Randall gave me a sidelong glance. Huh. She may be desperate, but I don't think she's stupid. Nah, she's fucking stupid. Yeah, thinking she can walk all over us and do whatever the hell she wants. Yeah, but it's for our own good, remember? Mocking laughter and snide remarks rippled through the room, but everyone soon turned their attention back to me. Before long, a number of Mavar had formed a loud circle around me, questioning me about Cherise and myself. It was like working for Queen Bitch had made me some kind of honorable former POW, or a celebrity, because apparently none of them have ever talked to her before. Callie! Callie! Callie, do you fight? Are you gonna fight with us in the war? One question chirped so close to my ear, and I turned to see a young girl, probably in her late teens, gazing up at me expectantly. Of course! I'd never been so ready to kick ass in my life. Ha! I knew it! I knew you'd be on our side! But her reply was swallowed up in the chatter, and someone else immediately tapped me on the shoulder. A guy with a crew cut and sharp eyes, watching me intently. You're one of us, right? A Mavar? Why are you still working for Queen Bitch? Fuck spying. Why don't you just throw her the middle finger and walk out? I'd be your #1 target if I left. She'd try to erase her mistake. Yeah, this one. Fuck that, let him bring it. I'm ready to tear shit up. Hey! Hey! Randall's voice suddenly rose over the loud conversations around me. Give her some room to breathe, guys. Come on. Sorry, Callie. I was talking a lot about you the other night. Guess I accidentally made you the new A-list star around here. He seemed amused and maybe delighted by the fact that everyone wanted to talk to me. But his comment just seemed to make them more interested. So for the next little while, I fended off a sea of good-natured questions that never seemed to end. Finally, though, the storm dispersed a little. Once I was freed from all the attention, Randall's gaze met mine, and he started to approach me from the other side of the room. But before he reached me, we're gonna make LA free again! A place where all of us can be equal! Someone's passionate cry abruptly rang out from above the hum of voices. Yeah! Anyone can say or do whatever the hell they want! Well, as long as they're not saying Isari or Gulls can rule, that is. Other voices quickly joined in, and a ripple of energy seemed to run through the room. I say we get rid of all those bastards. Why do we need them? They're the ones running or ruining L.A. Marla, who had been leaning against the wall next to Ziggy, chimed in with a loud snarl. If they hurt a single hair on any of your precious little heads, then I'm gonna blow theirs off the next time I see them. Cheers and laughter rang out again, and the energy mounted even higher. Hey, I'm not worried. I know we're gonna win. We got Randall, and they don't. So those fuckers have already lost. He's this poor man. Yeah, you're gonna tear up Charisse, right? I say you should get rid of every one of them. Someone should just shoot them all. Tell us, Randall. Tell us how it's gonna go down. Yeah, tell us. Now everyone was focused on Randall, who had ended up in the center of the room. Stop doing this noise. Stop. Someone chanted his name, and soon the whole group joined in. Randall! 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 They obviously wanted him to speak, but for whatever reason, he seemed to hesitate, his eyes darting around from face to face. Finally, he raised a hand up, motioning for everyone to be quiet. An anxious, eager silence instantly clamped over the room. If it hadn't been more full of corpses than a morgue, I might have been able to hear everyone breathing. What is with his hands? The city is getting ready for a change. His voice fell to a low, husky rumble, but the house was so quiet that it seemed to echo around us. All of you know this war of attrition can't go on much longer. Every day we move closer to the final night, the night when the lives of LA's vampires will change forever. Stop doing this. You're pissing me off. We started the fight to bring down Charisse, but now the Gauls are part of it too. And their leader is even more full of shit than Queen Bitch is. As Randall's words started to grow louder and more powerful, a ripple of murmurs and growls of agreement spread through the group. There are good Gauls, good Isari, and we know them when we see them. But the rest, the ones who keep trying to put everyone on leashes? We'll send those fuckers running for the hills, and we'll take back this goddamn city for ourselves. We'll take it back! A new chorus of enthusiastic cries sprang up, making the windows rattle. But their cheers sounded a little more muted at that part. Was it because of the last thing he said? We are individuals, not cogs in some big machine run by these fucking tyrants. They think we don't see what they're doing? They think we don't see their big fucking ego trips, their backstabbing, and all their spineless pieces of shit who lick their crumbs off the floor. We're no longer human, and if we don't answer to Death himself, why should we answer to some motherfucker trying to beat us into submission? We won't. We won't. We won't answer to anyone. We'll turn LA into a haven for vampires, where everyone plays by their own rules. We'll do what we know is right. Fuck the guilt, the lies, all the pieces of shit who sent us to hell for being ourselves. Randall's voice rose to a thundering crescendo until he was almost roaring out every word, his eyes burning like two embers inside his skull. We will be the worst enemies of anyone who tries to control their fellow vampires through fear or shame or pain. Through religion, through politics, through dogma. Through money, through morals, through differences. Because we won't be oppressed by the fascism of this fucking world any longer. The cheers and shriek rose to hysterical, almost deafening intensity. Even after Randall finished his short speech, everyone was so frenzied with excitement that I almost expected them to start tearing things apart. The effect he had on them was mesmerizing. They hung on his every word like it was the gospel. Each Mavar looked like they'd die for him. Or maybe they'd kill for him. Some of their admiration seemed innocent, but others looked like they lusted or pined for him, like he was untouchable despite being right beside them. As I gazed at Randall's towering figure, I could feel why they truly believed in him. Because he shone with purpose, just like a superhero. Man, I'm tired. Randall let out a sigh, hands clasping behind his head as he gazed up at the ceiling. We were lounging on the sofa in the now empty living room, which seemed bizarrely quiet. After the commotion eventually calmed down, the group went off to for a ride around on the beach. But when they invited Randall, he graciously declined, telling them he wanted to stay behind with me for a bit. But now that we were alone, Randall didn't seem in any hurry to speak. As the crowd dissipated, he'd quickly mellowed out, and the violent energy he'd been channeling earlier had all but completely faded. Your eyes are so fucking pretty! God! The color! You okay, kid? He finally turned towards me, raising a soft question. You didn't get spooked or anything, right? Being around so many angry vampires? No. Nah, power doesn't come from the guy up on the soapbox or behind the podium or on TV. Comes from the people who believe what he says. He fiddled slightly with his wristbands, gazing at the floor with a far-off look for several moments. You know, sometimes I just feel kinda, I don't know, uneasy. Not about what we're doing, but about what's gonna happen to, well, Queen Bitch of all people. Randall heaved a long sigh, draping an arm over the back of the couch as he turned to face me more fully. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I can't stand to fucking look at her with her stick-in-the-ass walk, her goddamn designer shoes, or the way she peers at you all fucking holier than thou over her glasses. Ugh. But I don't want to kill Charisse. I don't want to kill anyone if I can avoid it. Randall's voice dropped to a deep, gravelly murmur. As our eyes met, I saw a strange somberness in his gaze. Something that didn't fit with his normal persona. If I had my way, she'd step down peacefully. No one would need to die, and LA could be a free city for vampires. And deep down, that's what I'm still hoping for. There's still time. I wish it was that easy, Callie. I've tried. She's tried. Neither of us really want this to go on. But our camps are just so far apart. Feels like they're unhappy with any compromise we come up with. We're only just as strong as our groups make us. If we lose their support, then we're both as good as dead. And the ones who step up to take our places, well, I'm just gonna say they're a lot more extreme than we are. Randall sounded a little heartbroken despite the faint attempted humor he had forced into his voice. Reminded me of a desolate parent or lover, frustrated out of care and worry, resigned to a certain helplessness. A lot of my clan, they want to see someone's blood get spilled. It's not that they're bad people either. Most of them, they're great. Or most of the time, they're great. The best family a guy could ever ask for. Always ready to protect you and love you through whatever it is you're going through. We got every type of person, different as a rainbow, but brought together by what they believe in. It's one of those things that make you happy just seeing it. But sometimes I feel like they just want destruction. Very briefly, I thought I heard something unusual flicker through Randall's tone. But it was so subtle, I thought I lost it right after. When they get worked up, when everyone's shouting and pissed off, they really believe they're doing the right thing by tearing apart the enemy. I think it comes from a good place, you know? They want to defend the ones they care about. We all do. It's just, they don't understand that blind rage sometimes makes things so much worse. They really seem to love you. Can't you change their minds? Yeah, but it's like they keep putting me on a pedestal. Like I'm some kind of god or holy leader. But I'm not. I never wanted to be. You know why? Because people will always put words in their god's mouth, twist him around to suit their needs, even if he's saying something completely different. While Randall was talking, his fingers had wandered to a pen lying between us on the cushions. He plucked it up, beginning to idly scribble on the back of his hands, where a twisted figure slowly formed across his knuckles. I just wanted to help them. That's the whole reason why people started coming to me in the first place. The poor, the weak, the outcasts. I've been there. I know what it's like to feel worthless. So you're both the Smiling Jack and the David. There's so many parallels here, bro. I am seeing so many things. So when I came to LA and ranted at Vampire Hunts about the status quo and why we needed to change, people listened. A wistful smile flickered on his lips, as faint as a candle in the wind. For a while, everything seemed like it was getting better. They stopped living for others and started living their own lives, because I helped them understand it was alright. And then, at some point, they started to forget what freedom really meant. They wanted everyone else outside of our clan to see things the same way. Anyone who didn't was an enemy. Someone who was hurting us even if they never meant to. That's why they think Sharice should die. Closing his eyes, Randall let go of the pen and sunk back against the couch, his face tilted up to the ceiling. Without his chest moving to breathe, he looked as still and lifeless as a corpse. But after a moment, his eyelids flickered open and he glanced back towards me. Do you see any way out of all this? Not yet, but I believe things will work out somehow. Huh! I see we got a real idealist over here. Hang on to that optimism, kid. You're gonna need it. He let out a dry laugh, but a little bit of light returned to his eyes. Stop with the stuttering! Ah, shit. I'm sorry, Callie. Didn't mean to start rambling about society, but it's your own damn fault for being a good listener. Maybe I should become a vampire sociologist. Ah, sure. I bet you'd be good at it. You seem like a smart girl. I mean, obviously because you're hanging out with me. This time he offered one of his low, thunderous laughs, the genuine kind that came from deep in his chest. Soon, though, his grin shifted to a more thoughtful look. As he studied my face, he seemed to hesitate for a few seconds, scratching at the side of his cheek. Are you gonna fucking kiss or not? Like, bruh. Just as he opened his mouth again to speak, motherfucking cockblock! Cockblock! God! You guys suck! At that moment, the front door suddenly burst open. We're going for another short ride by the pier, you ready? Marla called out eagerly, beaming at Randall. I'm gonna kick your fucking whole ass, Marla. I'm gonna kick your ass now! Your whole ass! Whole ass! All 6 foot whatever the fuck you are. I'm gonna kick it all the way across the beach. Fuck! Yeah, I'll be right there. Sweet! Come meet us in the back. The door slammed shut behind her, and a few hollers echoed faintly from outside. Well, that's my cue to fucking go home, you bitch. Wasn't really feeling it tonight, but I guess I better go keep an eye on him. With a loud groan, Randall pushed himself to his feet, running a tongue across his fangs. Don't do that. Then, he offered a hand down to me, his bandaged palm reaching forward. It's the same face! With his powerful grip, he clasped my hand easily tugged me up to my feet. Well, I don't want to seem like I'm kicking you out again or anything. Maybe kind of gently nudging you out since the sun will be rising soon and all. Really? I'm really mad. But hey, I'm gonna call you up again in a few days, okay? This whole mentor thing or whatever, I'm starting to take it pretty seriously, so I gotta find another learning experience for you. Is that what we're calling dates now? I mean, you can call it whatever you'd like. I'm not gonna stop you. He gave me the briefest of winks, his eyes shining mischievously. The dude's got some massive hands, dude. Also, why are they only on the inside of his palms and not through? What are you doing to your hands, bro? We walked up beneath the night sky together, where a plane was distantly droning by overhead. From behind the house, I heard the sound of laughter and revving engines. Randall's group was waiting for him, no doubt. Get home safely, Callie. As Randall and I stepped off the porch, he turned to offer me a small, unusually gentle smile. Oh, and give Queen Bitch my regards, okay? I'm sure she'll just be delighted. Good night, Randall. Night, Callie. I'm so mad. Slow burn is great and everything, but I fucking hate slow burn. I'm gonna put that out there right now. Not a fan of slow burn. He slowly waved at me until I was out of sight. But as I left the moonlit beach behind, heading back into the glittering city lights, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd glimpsed something different in Randall. I couldn't put a name to it yet, but as I followed him deeper into the Mavar's chaotic world, what else would start rising to the surface? And we are going to save here. Save. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, or any game suggestions for me, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, and I will see what I can do about playing games, because clearly my computer has problems running things. And please feel free to subscribe if you're not already, because I'd love to have you around. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!